guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking to you guys about the anxiety and depression that came with my IBS, aka irritable bowel syndrome. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, you guys, so when I first was told that, I had irritable bowel syndrome, it was kind of hard for me to get at first because I started looking at this big, long list of stuff that I had cut out of my diet. So that started making me feel like I couldn't eat anything and I wasn't going to be able to enjoy anything that I really like to eat every day. And I actually got really moody over it because I would be seeing something looking at it like, I can't have that. And I would get really moody. And I did not want to eat healthy. I really didn't. And when I was told I had IBS, I had been eating fast food like a lot when I was diagnosed, and it didn't do me any favors because I had to cut out the fast food. I had to cut out, all this processed food that I was eating. So it was really a big switch for me. So when I started looking at what food I couldn't have and, thinking about family outings, house visits with friends, the holidays, I kind of felt like my whole world was shrinking. I felt like I wasn't going to be able to do anything that I had done beforehand. And I'm also a big eater, so I was like, I don't know what I'm going to eat. I don't know how I'm going to make it through this. And I would see other people eating stuff that I'd be questioning, like, am I even able to have this? Can I even eat this with them? So that's kind of where the depression started out with it. But I also started getting anxious at the same time because it was every food decision was a risk because I didn't know, I wasn't in tune with my body. So I didn't know, like, hey, if I eat this, am I going to have stomach pain? Or, I'm getting really stressed out and now I have stomach pain. Like, what am I supposed to do? And the thing is that the anxiety mainly came in when pain started, because it could be as random as sitting in high school listening to a teacher talk up front, and out of nowhere sharp pains will start and then I can't move because the sharp pains were webbing out and it prohibited me from being able to move anywhere without it hurting even more. And then I would get anxious, which caused even more pain, because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to stop this when I can't even move right or to get down and get my antacids or anything like that. And the IBS really made my life difficult, especially being in high school, because I was a very involved person. I was very involved in organizations, school events, performances, and it was really difficult for me to be able to get this under control because with me being a stress freak, I already have anxiety. I had anxiety before I got IBS. And I'd always just had issues. I've always had some type of issue with my health. No surprise there. But the IBS kind of was a little bit of an eye-opener, a little bit, because it showed me how much I'd really been stressing my whole life. I've never actually relaxed, per se. I've never just sat down, and did something for myself and didn't feel stressed out doing it, because I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this for myself. I could be helping someone else. I could be doing chores, taking care of the animals, taking care of my family, looking for a job, filming, everything. So I stress over the littlest things. I stress over writing assignments in my planner. Like, it is horrible. And the biggest thing is that when the stress and anxiety hits, it does make me have to go to the restroom. This is TMI. But I have an example for you guys. So I was about to give a speech presentation with my group in college, and we were about to go on, and she said that we were going first when we were supposed to be the second out of 3 groups to go that day. And instantly, I said, I'll be right back, and they tried asking me, wait, where are you going? And I bolted out of the room because I couldn't wait, because I had to go. And obviously it was number 2, but I could not hold it because I got stressed out. I was stressing that morning and my anxiety went up through the roof when I was told that we got switched from second to first. It is as simple as that makes me have to run. It could be I have a dance performance, gotta go to the bathroom. I have to go to class for the first time, gotta go to the bathroom. That's gotten worse, I'm not going to lie, but I'm maintaining it, and that's the important thing. I'm learning how to stay in tune with my body and instinct, and I know, like, hey, I have to go, I'm gonna go, and I'll be right back. And especially being in college, you really don't have to ask to go to the bathroom, but I have had to explain, because I go so frequently, that, you know, hey, I do have IBS, and this is just something that I have to do. If I have to go, I have to go. I cannot hold it. It's not an option. And so far, all of my professors get it, family gets it, friends get it. So that helps the stress, is if your family and friends get it, and if you have to tell your teachers, let them know, because that actually limits the amount of stress that comes with taking, you know, your IBS issues with you to school or to work or wherever, because if they know, they're not going to ask you 50 questions. And the questions that people ask, it is honestly very annoying, and it's kind of irritating having to repeat yourself. And I totally get that, having to repeat yourself over and over and over and over again. And people always think, well, IBS means you have to go to the bathroom. No, there's a lot more to it. And there's still some science that's not figured out about IBS. Like, people say that the cause is stress, but there are also underlying factors that are still not yet discovered. And some people can't even tell me how stress is connected to IBS, just that it is. The reason why the stress made so much sense to me when I was diagnosed was because, especially that year, I had so much going on. I was in 6 different clubs and organizations in my high school. I was the president, or at least an officer, in almost all of them. I was an officer, president in all of them except for one. Everyone always asked something of me. I was a performer, so I was dancing at different events, pep rallies, cafeteria gigs, like that kind of thing. And also at that time, the dance instructor that was at the school, because we have a dance team and dance classes, she had us, me and the other managers, we were bedazzling the dance team's t-shirts with Swarovski crystals and E6000 blue. And we individually had to put these little rhinestones using a paper clip and E6000 blue onto all of the shirts, spelling out silver stars or shining stars. And she wanted it done, you know, ASAP. And I was stressing. Because she came to me for everything. Like, everything under the sun, for every game, every dance performance, every, you know, wardrobe change, like every little thing under the sun, because the other managers were not all into it. Everything came to me. And at first, you know, I was like, hey, this is really nice. Someone's actually liking what I do. But then it got to the point where I started bringing my dance stuff home, and I was pulling all-nighters without my family knowing it, and I was drinking coffee at like 3 a.m. trying to keep myself awake so that I could please my instructor along with my other teachers. And this went on for so long, and I did not give myself a break. I was barely getting sleep, drinking coffee all hours of the night, and the next thing you know, I have IBS. And yeah, stress is a major factor. And I definitely put myself in a bad position because I did not watch what I was doing. I did not limit what I was doing. I was just go. Like, this is high school. I gotta make my mark. I got, you know, the depression and the anxiety. Like, I did not want to get up and eat after a while. I was like, ugh, I gotta go figure out what I can even eat in the kitchen. Do I want to, or am I just gonna sit in my room, drink water, and sleep? I stayed in my room a lot, and I got very moody, very sassy, and even going to the specialist, my mom did tell the doctor, like, she's been really moody, as if I was PMSing. Like, I was crabby all the time. And that's actually not uncommon, because it's not a choice. Those of us that have IBS, it's not a choice to have it. It's really something that we either partially bring on ourselves without realizing it, or it's forced upon us. And once you have it, you can't get rid of it, but you can maintain it. And that's the important thing. And each person has to learn how to maintain it their own way. I had asked you guys to send in some questions about, IBS or any questions that you have for me. And we are going to get into that section of the video. The first question is why does everyone assume that IBS has something to do with poop or number 2? And it's pretty much because of the name, because it says irritable bowel syndrome, and everyone knows your bowel is number 2. And a lot of people that have IBS are continuously having to run to the bathroom. So people kind of make that assumption like, oh, that person just has to go a lot. It's nothing. And honestly, they just don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, that's one factor out of a group of factors that are interchangeable. They change all the time. What are symptoms of either gluten or lactose intolerance, and how do you relieve them? So the main symptoms honestly are bloating, stomach pain, having diarrhea and constipation, headaches, brain fog, and it varies between people. Like some people have more, some people have less, and some people have what I just told you guys. And to relieve them, honestly, the best things that you can do is, like, if you have a headache, you can medicate for it. If you have stomach pain, the best thing to do is to either take some Mylanta, which is a liquid antacid, take antacids, or the brand Tums. Antacids and Tums are the same thing. And you can also really just try to calm yourself down, because if you're in the middle of one of these attacks, then you don't want to push yourself, because that's going to make you feel even worse. You kind of just have to let the gluten and lactose run its course and get out of your system. What's the most difficult thing about having these conditions and intolerances? And honestly, it is really just adjusting my life to these lifestyles, because besides the fact that they're conditions and intolerances, they are lifestyles. So in a way, I have had to change my lifestyle 3 times within the past 2 years, and 2 of which happened this year. IBS was a diagnosis, and I had to change it my junior year of high school, and it's honestly just a lot to adjust to. And I've done so much research, and it took a lot of adjusting, because at one point I was cool, I was eating healthier, I wasn't stressing as much, but then boom, I start getting bloated, I have stomach pain, I'm sleeping all the time, and nothing made sense. Find out I have a gluten intolerance, and then I start making progress with that, and then boom, I start getting bloated and have the similar symptoms, but I've cut gluten out of my diet, so what's really going on here? It was really hard to get a diagnosis, and that's one of the biggest things for me that was difficult. That was one of the things that was the most difficult, is getting the diagnosis in the first place, and it was a very annoying and irritating process, because the doctors want to minimize the list of what it could be, and they want to cross off the list what it isn't, but then they can't tell you 100% if that's what it is. And these conditions, there is no diagnosis. There is no one thing that stands out amongst the rest. Like, there's no blood test to prove it. There's no, major symptoms that prove it. It's really what you eat and how you feel after you eat it. And pretty much it's assumptions, but with having the IBS and cutting out gluten and lactose, I feel fine. What are some of the positive things that you've experienced from these influences and conditions? I would have to say definitely my mood has boosted. I've been more productive with putting, all these different nutrients and vitamins in my body, and also my weight loss. As of now, I've been working out consistently with my mom for over 3 weeks, and I've felt better. I've lost weight, I've lost inches. Okay, you guys, that is it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, hit that big red subscribe button down below, and double whack the notification bell so you will never miss another video from me. And without further ado, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!